Long before I met MTT, I had heard about his grandparents, Boris and Bessie Tomaszewski, stars of the Yiddish theater in New York in the early part of the 20th century. My mother had talked about the legendary Boris Tomaszewski, whom she had seen perform when she was a girl, growing up in her Yiddish-speaking neighborhood in South Philadelphia. Her own parents had recently emigrated from a small shtetl in Ukraine, similar to where Boris was from. And so the stories that he brought to the stage of people struggling in the New World were like the people my mother and grandparents knew, people who were trying to understand and fit into a culture and a language that was very different from what they had left behind in the old country. And in addition to the Yiddish musicals, they heard Boris perform Shakespearean plays, King Lear and Merchant of Venice, and my mother insisted that Shakespeare sounded just as poetic in Yiddish as it did in the King's English. These are the cover pages on some sheet music from the Tomaszewski shows that I found in a shop in New York some time ago. Here's a picture of Boris Tomaszewski, and this is Michael's uncle Harry, who also performed with them. When Michael brought the Tomaszewski project to the orchestra, I was thrilled, and I loved playing this boisterous, evocative music. To hear Michael tell his very personal story that really only he could tell, of his grandparents and everything they contributed to theater and culture in America, was eye-opening. He not only brought this music vividly to life, but also the world they inhabited at that time in history. Michael, I'm so grateful to you for opening this window into the world of my grandparents through your grandparents. But this project was only one of the many musical highlights of my 25 years playing in the orchestra with you at the helm, which includes your deep dives into the music of Mahler, Stravinsky, and many composers in the American musical canon. I'm so sorry we aren't able to perform these final weeks with you this season and revisit the great compositions of Wagner, Shostakovich, and especially Mahler. And I look forward to the next time we can come together to make music. Until then, I wish you and Joshua seid gesund und stark und freilich.